All right, guys. So we got to talk about a story that is flying under the radar, but I want to talk about it because it's just another ridiculous story about how our society has become so soft and sensitive, and how certain people just have to walk on eggshells when it comes to the things they say, while other people don't. Okay. And it really does bother me. Okay. Because this is not equality. As we got to talk about a Mississippi news anchor by the name of Miss Barbie Bassett. Okay, she's been on air for 20 years straight. She's a 20-year veteran. Okay, she just got fired. She lost her job because she repeated racist. Okay, racist. These lyrics are deemed to be racist. Racist lyrics from Snoop Dogg. Right, live on air. Now, leading up to her firing, there was some history of her making racially insensitive comments, and I want to go ahead and play a clip of something that she said back in October that she caught backlash from the woke revolutionaries, and she subsequently apologized for. So I want to go ahead and play this clip, and you guys can determine whether or not you think what she said was racially insensitive. Take a look.
Carmen, girl, sis, I know you well enough to know that those guys working behind you, they probably know who the celebrity game day picker is. So you need to go swing by the Kroger's, get you a chocolate pie.
A chocolate.
Well, pecan pie would be just as fine. And you need to go offering it to some of those guys working behind you.
And get the scoop.
And see if you can get the scoop from one of those for return. I know your mother or your grandmammy has got some type of recipe that you could whip up, don't you think?
Really,
Take it to them.
Grandmammy?
They might have a recipe or two. Go whip something up.
Friday on our newscast today at 11, I used a term that was offensive to many in our audience and to my coworkers here at WLBT. And though it was not intentional, I now understand how both my comment was insensitive and hurtful. And I have apologized to Carmen Poe. And now I would like to apologize to you, because that is not the heart of who I am. And for that, I humbly ask you for your forgiveness. And I apologize to everyone I have offended. I will learn from this, and I will participate in training so I can better understand our history and our people. I cannot mend the hurt that my comment caused, but I pray that you will forgive me and that you'll extend grace through my awful mistake.
Yeah, so she apologized for that. Again, I'm not sure exactly which word was the insensitive word. Maybe it was sis, right? Mammy, maybe. I think it was mammy, because I think mammy does have like some racial undertones to it, okay? I think that historically refers to a large, dark-skinned black woman who works for white families, right? So I'm not sure if that's the way that she meant it, right? If she meant to use that word in a derogatory way. I think what she was really trying to do is that I think she was trying to be down with the culture, right? Because I've heard black people use the term mammy, right? I've heard that term be used among black people towards each other, referring to somebody's mama or something like that. I've heard that before, right? I had to go look it up to see the historical significance of the term, to know that apparently, again, it's derogatory, or it could be derogatory. Okay, so I don't think that she knows it was derogatory. The fact that she used the term sis and all the other stuff, I think that she's trying to be down with the team, right? She's trying to be down with the culture. And that gets a little awkward when you're from the South, right? A place like Mississippi, where you have that Southern slang, and then you try to mix it in with some of that, urban dialect as well, too. Yeah, that's how you get this type of disaster, right? That's how you get this, okay? Again, and one of the reasons why I know she's trying to be down with the team, because what she actually got fired for was repeating a lyric from Snoop Dogg, where she said live on air, "For shizzle my nizzle," when they were doing a segment about him. Take a look.
And Snoop Dogg says there's nothing better.
Well, he hadn't tried anything for Julie Leavenway yet.
I agree with that.
You know how Snoop and Martha Stewart
had a collaboration, yes.
He ought to have a collaboration with Julie. No telling what Snoop Dogg and Julie Leavenway could come up with.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Before we know it, she'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle my nizzle.
I'm telling you, Julie, what you...
As you can see there, again, she's just trying to be down with the culture, right? Isn't this what the wokes want, right? Isn't this what you're supposed to want? You're supposed to want white folks to, be down with the cause, okay? To understand the culture stuff. Like, ain't that what you're supposed to want? But apparently not. Apparently not. Again, if you're white, okay, and you try to get on board with this type of stuff, you try to be cool, you try to be hip, you'll be punished for it because you have to walk on eggshells, right? So yeah, apparently she got fired for this, okay? She got fired for saying, I guess, for shizzle my nizzle, and I'm assuming that it's the my nizzle part that people are upset about because they're trying to say that that's the N word or whatever, right? And again, it's just another example of how soft and ridiculous our society has become. Okay, I understand, I kind of understand some of the backlash from the mammy thing, even though I think that, again, people have been a little bit too sensitive about that too. But again, this is crazy, right? This is crazy. So, some people said, oop, not Barbara Bassett got fired. Barbara Bassett said for shizzle my nizzle on TV and thought she could get away with it because she said mammy before she thought that white privilege was gonna be privileging. Not Barbara Bassett or Barbie Bassett getting fired for saying nizzle on air. Yeah. Canceling Barbie Bassett was not on my 2022 bingo card, but here we are. Yeah, so they are canceling her because she repeated a rap lyric in a context that totally made sense. She didn't say the N-word. She said for shizzle my nizzle, right? That's just like somebody saying, my ninja or whatever, right? I've heard people censor the N-word in ways where they say, oh, my ninja or, whatever, okay? I mean, that's the same thing, my nizzle, right? You can't even say that. You can't say my N-word anything, right? And N-word doesn't even have to be like the actual N-word, okay? It can be nizzle or ninja. Apparently, you can't say that if you're white. You're going to get fired. But, for whatever reason, the news network here thought it was appropriate to promote the products of the person that said the phrase in the first place, okay, for shizzle my nizzle, but fires the news anchor for repeating something that the person that they're promoting said, right? Again, it blows my mind. If what he said was so bad that you got to fire a news anchor for repeating it, then why even promote his products or anything about him in the first place, right? Again, it's amazing to me how the people that say that word the most, the N-word, never get punished for saying it, even though it's supposed to be such a terrible word to say, but they never get punished for saying it. But if you're white and you say it, you lose your livelihood, okay? It's over for you. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, man. Get this lady her job back, bro. She's a 20-year veteran. I think that the lady would probably be cool to hang out with. I would love to hang out with her and talk with her. I believe she's probably a hilarious person. She probably has a great personality. And again, it's a shame that you get punished as a white person when you try to, relate too much to black folks, right? That's the problem here. Her crime is that she tried to relate too much, okay? But unfortunately, again, you don't get the benefit of the doubt when you're white to be able to do that, okay? You're supposed to stay in your own lane, but at the same time, you're supposed to be hyper aware and hypersensitive to everything that may trigger black folks, right? But, again, stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane. It's kind of the message that's being sent here. I think this woman should get her job back. I don't think that what she said was that bad. It's not any worse than anything you've heard any race hustler say on television, okay? They say much worse things. I don't think that the woman is racist. I just think that, again, she's trying to relate to the culture a little bit too much while at the same time just being Southern. And I think that could, bring on some weird kind of conversations and some moments when you're talking to her or whatever. So hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.